Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the part two of the old making a leather sheath for the old leather stacked Mark 1 Hunter that I make. So if you follow along with part one, you'll know we probably didn't get very far, but if you just come into it now, then yeah, I'm making a leather sheath for that knife, like I said, and yeah, got minimal gear and minimal skill to be fair, so I'm trying to up my game a little bit as we go. So it's sort of geared for the beginner because that's all I am. I've made a few sheaths in my day, not many to be fair. Made a sheath for my little head knife and the old Mark 100 or whatever. There's a few lying around, but yeah, I need to get my skill set up a bit. So it's all practice and it's all learning and really enjoying it. So without too much jibber jabber or more jibber jabber, we'll get stuck into it and we'll crack on. It's a beautiful morning here down in Kiwi land. Tripod's falling to bits. Fingers are freezing off, but there's work to be done. So let's crack on and see if we can get this finished in this one here. So yeah, let's go. So yeah, if you've been watching part one of this, you'll know what's going on. If you haven't and you're just new to it, this is part two. And making a taco style, I think that's what they call them, leather sheath for the old Mark 1 Hunter that I made with the leather stacked handle. And so this is what I'm up to now. I've got my, you would have seen, even though you haven't seen, I've made a pattern, that green cardboard being the pattern. Just a bit of a quick update here. I've put it on my leather, cut it out. I've glued on this, whatever they call it, just this guard thing here to stop it from the stitching. And the attempt is going to be in this video to finish her off as best we can. So that's what I'm up to now. I've got that there. I've shaped up here with that sort of thing there and done that. I'll be using that tool there for cutting, just doing the edges and putting a bit of groove in there, and then I'll be stitching it up. So from now, what I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure, is I'm going to just make sure that fits how I want it to. I still don't know about this floppy ears thing here, but I'll refine that up a bit. If you're watching the other one, I'm trying to avoid the original Mark 1 Hunter here with this flat piece here over here. I'm not really happy with that either, because when the blade comes out, it just keeps flicking on it and it's going to end up cutting in half. So I'm trying to avoid that. So hopefully, get rid of that. Hopefully it goes on there. It may look a bit silly, but I'm going to put a snap in there so when you open it, it'll hold the knife in. When you open it, it gets out of the way. That's the theory and the plan anyway. So we'll move forward from here. We'll, yeah, start going from there, yeah. So, yeah, thanks for watching and coming along. And that's enough jibber jabber for me just right at the minute. We'll get stuck into it and keep proceeding. Rightio, so here we are. So I've got this here, and that there, as you've seen, you've already seen all that sort of thing. So put that over there for now. So what I'm going to do now is I've got this little edging tool here. You can see that I've already done these edges, but I didn't get the footage. I'll just tidy that up a little bit, run that around there. That one's got a bit of a mess, but never mind, we'll get there. That's all good. Then what I'm going to do is reach for my little water bottle. Just going to wet the edge slightly. And I think it's called a burnishing tool. Again, I don't really know. I've made one up here out of some sort of plastic. And just get right in there and rub that, make it a bit shinier. You can see that. I'm trying to get to the bits. That'll be difficult to get to once I've put it together, yeah. You can put waxes and stuff on there, but yeah. So now what I'm going to do is put a little border on it. Don't have one on there, and I've got to do a list before I get it, so I can get at it, if you know what I mean. Oh, demand. I'll put that there. Hopefully you can see this a bit. Go to there. Of course, this is a right-handed tool and I'm left-handed, so it gets a bit bit difficult for me. Oh no, that'll be right. So there's a wee bit of a border, and I'll do a border and a groove for my stitching when I've got it folded up. That shouldn't be too bad right now, and I'll fold it up. I'll refine these bits a little bit later when I know where I'm going to put that. All good. So what I'm going to do now is put a bit of glue on here, glue that over like that. Nice. So I think I said in my last video that this was a waterproof contact adhesive, but it's actually a water-based contact adhesive. Not that it matters, but try and get things right as best I can. So I'm just going to put this on here. If it comes out, it's not coming out. Oh, now it's coming out. Spread it out and just let it sit for a wee bit and then glue it together. Oh no. Got a wee bit too much glue here. I did see a video on the YouTube of a professional leather worker who made some very awesome stuff. I can't remember who it was, but he did mention making a list. There's quite a few steps involved in doing the leather work, and I probably missed a few. And once you fold this up, it's hard to come back and do some things. So what he suggested doing, if I haven't already said, is making a list and numbering it, sort of thing, so you don't miss any steps, which I think is a very good idea, which I should have done, but I didn't. So I'm just going to let this sort of dry off and then stick it together here. Hopefully you can see that. Let's get it where I want to go, because you know with contact adhesives that once I stick this, that's sort of where it goes. I won't have much time to change. So anyway, we'll glaze on. Righty-ho, so that's gone off. I could have wet the middle to make it go over a bit better, but I'm going to wet form it later on. So just want to delicately stick, not to me, but delicately stick this where it's got to go. Yes, hopefully you can see all that. Not too bad. Get that to go down. Give it a bit of a beat. That'll be good enough. It's not bad. What I'm going to do now is clamp it. But when you clamp it, you want to be a little careful that you don't damage what you've already got. So I'll put some extra bits of leather on there. I've only got 6 clamps, so 6 clamps will have to do. Put a bit of hold it there while it goes off, if you know what I mean. Pretty sure you know what I mean. I'm sticking myself together. Crikey. Right. I only see 5 clamps there, I think, but here's one. Stick to the stick. These little clamps are really, really good, and they're really cheap, very cheap, but they do put a fair bit of pressure on things. So that'll hold that there, all good. So that should be good enough. Taking off the clamps naturally, as you can see. You might be able to see that it marks the leather where the clamps are, but hopefully it's all good underneath. Getting that done. Yeah, not too bad. I'm happy with that. Bit of grooving and that, but yeah, not too bad. So that's, yeah, not too bad actually. It's all good, like I said. What I'm going to do now is refine that up on the 2x72, and then I'm going to run a groove where my stitches go, and I'm going to stitch it up. I don't have the 2 needles and do the saddle stitch like a lot of people will do. I just use a speed stitcher, which you'll see coming up. So yeah, all good. When you do run it on 2x72, you just want to either turn it down if you're going to use a sanding belt, or you want to use a fresh belt, because the leather can tend to burn. I'm not too worried on that edge, because quite often I'll dye them black anyway, but not this time. But yeah, not too bad so far. It's still good. So that's done. I made this edge sort of even and smooth. Now I'm going to run around with my edging tool. Just take that little birdie piece off. If you can see there, I missed. There, see that? It seems to be working. That's good. Clean that end up. Yep, that's cool. And now I'm going to mark it with my just for the stitching. Yeah.
Here. That's upside down, as you expect.
Now, due to the fact that I'm probably not the best leather worker in the world, I'm only going to do that grooving on one side. Then what I do, some people will punch holes apparently. What I tend to do is I use these little fork things here I got, and I'll just hammer those in, and then I'll to get my spacing. Oh no, everything fell out. And yeah, I just bang those in around there, get my spacing, and then I'll go and drill them. And quite often, like I said, due to my skill level, I tend to get it. You've got to try and keep it straight when you drill it. I tend to get holes sort of randomly. So they don't always line up if I put a groove in there on the back. So I'll groove it afterwards, yeah. So yeah, let's get that done. So probably better ways of doing this, but this is what I found works for me. You just try and keep it flat so it goes through straight. It's easier said than done, but we'll give it a go. So yeah, I don't know if they came out perfect. That's sort of what I get. It'll work. It'll be good. So from here, all I do is I run that groover back over it. I'll get around the right way, of course. Run that groover back over these little holes, just to cut them out a little bit, because the drill bit makes them stick out. It's getting a bit blunt, but it's doing the job. And then I'll groove in the other side as best I can to make them line up. And then we'll stitch it up. So you can probably see that in the video. Yes. It's a little bit wonky, as it were, but it'll come up. It'll all come out in the wash. Yeah.
You can see that. Can't see that, can you?
Probably one of the better ones I've done in a while. Except for the air. It's gone a bit nuts crazy. Oh no. Oh, I'm not doing very good with this.
It's come up all right.
It's not really what you're supposed to do with that, but never mind. There we go. So that's not too bad. We'll take it over to the old, whatever it's called, the vice. So far it's not too bad. Fits in there. It's getting a bit tight there, but what I'm going to do is wet the whole thing and poke that in there. What I tend to do sometimes is actually completely soak it in water and put it in a Kydex type press. But for now, yeah, that's pretty good. I'll stitch it up and we'll get to there. Oh. So here we go, stitching it up, and one day I'll invest in the old double needle jobby. If I can get this right, just get it started. Double needle jobby, like I said, but for now I just make do with what I got, and it just happens to be a speed stitcher, which I've had for a fair while, to be fair. So yeah, I'll learn the saddle stitch one day, but for now this works. I don't make a lot of sheaths, I would have to say. Sheaths, or whatever you want to call them. So that I get by with this. I'm not exactly sure how much of this thread stuff I should have hanging out, but I'll get there. So the only thing you got to worry about with this is getting that sort of stitch, pull it so it gets into the middle. I'll just, yep. Just work my way around. The other thing I do intend to make in one day is one of those wooden vice things that clamp it together. At the moment I've just got a bit of leather on there. I normally use a rag in the vice. It's not ideal, but I'll get one of those. You've probably seen them. 2 bits of wood which clamp in the middle, but I'm still working on that. So I'll probably do a bit of a fast forward or whatever, because you get the essence after a couple of stitches. So we get to the end of it. And yeah. Another thing I will sometimes do, get that in there, is I will just leave a gap. That little thing there, if you can see that, if that's in camera, I'll leave a gap in the end of it, or a hole in the end of it, when I glue the middle piece in, just so any water gets in there, it runs out. I haven't done it this time, just different sort of design, but it's just another option that you can do if you're worried about getting a lot of leather in it. I mean a lot of water in it. There's going to be a lot of leather because it's a leather sheath, but a lot of water getting in. Other times I'll dye these as well, but I'm just going to use beeswax on this, as you'll see at the end. So that's the last stitch. So normally what I'll do when I get to the end, I'll go back a couple or 3, just over stitch it, try to tie it in there a little bit better if I can get it right, because it's a bit different going backwards, but that's generally what I'll do. And then I'll cut the ends and just use a bit of flame and melt them in so they don't come out. Well, that's the idea anyway. So I'll go back 2 or 3. And that's that part of the build done. Get the bends out, all good. So as you can see, the stitching's all done, so that's all good. What I'm going to do is put the knife in here now and start fitting getting the fit to go. Get that in there as far as I can, because it shouldn't come apart now that it's been stitched. It'll tell me where I need to trim some bits off here if I want to, or where I'm going to put my snaps. So I'm thinking that's probably not too bad. So what I want to do is just get my hand around there. I'll get these a bit shorter. I get one side off so I can just slip a thumb on and pull it out. That's not too bad at this stage. So what I might do now is, yeah, I'll wet this all up, put some silicone spray and stuff on the blade and form that up to it, yeah. That'll be the next stage. So I use a bit of the old silicone stuff when I'm doing my knives. I use that a bit when first when I finish them. I'm going to put them away for a wee while. Of course, naturally, when I wet that leather sheath up, this being a high carbon steel blade, has a potential for rust. So I'm just going to wrap it in this thing as best I can as well. It's sort of plastic. It's not glad wrap. It's a different sort of stuff, but we'll give it a go with that, yeah. Then I'm going to wet the sheath and poke her in. Oh no. Right, that's nice and soaky wet. So place that in there. And there. Try to keep it in the shot, focused in a bit. Not coming up too bad. A bit crooked. It's not going any further than that, which is good. So there you go. I'll let that dry off for a little bit, try and keep it straight. Get it in there as far as it's going to go. Squeeze it up, push it up, and do what you have to do, and it'll form quite well. It's got a bit crooked there, but so while that's doing what it has to do, I shall go and ponder the belt loop situation. So here we are again. I've got that refined that out a little bit there. You can see that's sticking out here. So what I want to do is ultimately I'll put that in. I'll get a finger on there and I can just open that, pull the knife out, yeah. So what I'm doing now is just putting on a snap. I may change that a little bit later. I've got one hole here. Press that down to approximately where it's going to go. Get that in there just to make a mark. And I'll bang those two strops in there. Not strops at all. Those are snaps. So I'll put those snaps in. Hopefully that's pretty good. Yep, we'll try that and see if that works. Just got to keep cleaning that because that sheath's a little bit wet still. So a bit more of the old silicone. So there we are. So I'll just get my snaps sorted out, get my bits and pieces done, and been doing a bit of pondering, a bit of thinking, and I think I've come up with an idea for a belt loop, yeah. So we'll see. With a bit more leather, so forth. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that so far, and it still fits in the old work pants, and everybody's happy enough. Get the right ones, and you start. So yeah, a little bit. I'd actually moved those. They weren't quite tightening up, so that'll go into there like that. I've cut that little flat piece off there. That turned whatever I'm saying, and yeah, I can get that and get there, get a finger in there or get a thumb in there and just pick that off here. It's working not too bad now. It's good. So that's pretty tight in there. It ain't coming out in a hurry, and that's what I want to do. So that'll just slip into the work pants like I said, and we're good to go. I'll probably modify it a little bit in the future. I'll just see how that goes. So now I'll get some more leather and we'll have a look at a belt loop, eh? Like I've said 1,000 times. Rightio, let's go. 7 battery changes, everything's going wrong, but anyway, we must push on. We must push on. Yes, I'm getting into the unknown here. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to give it a go. So I've got some of this leather, which I got for a really, really cheap price, which is pretty unusual. So I've laid my thing on there. I'm going to fold that over and make a belt loop out of this. So that's the plan anyway. So we'll blaze on with this and see how we go. It may not work, but we'll give it the best shot we can. So there we have it. I have to say I'm having a bit of trouble with my gear today. A bit of that audio wasn't really the best, but sorry about that. We're moving on. Anyway, here we are. So a few marks in there from the old fingernails, like I said earlier in one of the videos. So there we go. What I've done, I've made that little bit of leather there. I've put another piece over the top of that and glued that on. That'll go into there like that. That'll fold over there like that. A little bit hard to work this leather. I don't know exactly what it is, but there we go. And that'll fold over with a snap on there, and that one will go there like that. If you can see that, and that'll fold underneath, whoop, like that, with a couple of snaps on there. And so that's about it. We'll put those snaps in. We'll do that, fold that up and press it down, and give it a bit of beeswax on the underneath and top maybe, and yeah, it'll be job done, yeah. So let's do that. Try that again. So probably not the ideal way of putting beeswax on, but that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll keep blazing on with this before the video becomes 440 days long. And we'll do a little outro, and yeah, that's that. I'll show you what I've got, and that'll be that. So there it is, if you can see that in the shot. Fits in the old work pants pocket. Fits in there quite well, actually. So I'm happy with how it's turned out, to be fair. Just flip that off, and that comes out. Fits in there too. And there you go. You've got a sheath for the old Mark 100. So yeah, pretty happy with the way that's turned out. And you can take it out of there, do what you've got to do with it. Still protected. Get it in there. Bit tight, but not bad. And that loops on the belt. So yeah, pretty happy with the way that turned out, and we'll bring that to a close here. So there's the end of Mark, or part 2. Yeah, I'm making the sheath for the original Mark 100. That's quite tight in there, really. It'll loosen up a little bit, but yeah, it's all good so far. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that and how that turned out. Bit of blundering, bit of making it up as I went. You can take that off. And yeah, so always room for improvement. The finish probably isn't the best, but it's going to do the job. So I'm very happy with that, like I've said 100 times. So yeah. So yeah, like I said, I'm happy with that. It's good. And if you've been following the channel, you'll know that it's just, yeah, it's just me journaling really what I do. And yeah, others might learn from it, but I'm definitely learning and enjoying the whole process. So with a bit of minimal gear and a bit of leather, you can get there and make some pretty reasonable stuff, in my opinion. Professional leather makers may be watching this, may not, and cringe at what's going on, but yeah, I'm learning and I'm getting there. So it's all pretty good. I'm happy. So there you go. I finally got a leather sheath for my original Mark 100 leather stacked knife. So if you're interested in that, flick back and have a look at the making of the knife, or not. Either way, hope this video finds you safe and well and you're happy in what you do, and you have a really great day. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, enjoy yourself.